last year I fell in love with my therapist and I confessed my love to him because I thought he loved me back. And I'm laughing because, like, I don't know why I'm laughing. It was just so funny. Like, of course that happened. But, like, yeah, of course it happened because I had finally been trying to heal some of the really dark emotional issues and trauma I was dealing with. And I started seeing him like almost 3 years ago now, which is really crazy. And in the first year, it took me so long to start trusting him. And I like kept him at an arm's length because I had such a fear of like medical health professionals and mental health, just the mental health industry. But I knew I needed to like get back into therapy. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I have a history of hospitalization and PHPs and IOPs. And I had kind of gotten out of therapy for a bit because it was just like I had completely lost myself in therapy. But when I was like in my mid 20s, my trauma really came up like in a very deep, dark way. And my PTSD was really, really bad. I was just lost in paranoia and self harm and ideation. Anyway, I started seeing this therapist and we we started doing like trauma processing, prolonged exposure, and I had told him things that I had never told anyone. Like, I started telling him stories. Like, I had talked about my trauma in therapy, but most of the details I kept hidden, and I literally believed that, like, those things were too dark and fucked up that I had to take them to the grave. Like, I thought I could never share them with anyone. And I actually started sharing some of, like, the deeper wounds I had, some of the deeper injuries that people had inflicted upon me with words or with violence. And these were things that like were said to me that I just thought were so messed up and wrong that it like meant something about me and that if I were to share them, I would forever be this like dark, twisted, dirty person. Oof, God, what a way to start this. Anyway, I started really opening up to this therapist, which was really helpful, but it got to a point where I was so reliant on him because he held so much power over me in that because he knew so much about me. He knew details about my life that no one else knows. Still to this day, no one else knows. And it was like this fearful attachment grew because I was like, well, if I lose him, it felt like I was gonna lose everything. And if he rejects me, like that will confirm all my biggest fears. And like there were like so many different facets to this. And it got to a point last year where I told him, I was like, I can't keep this in anymore. Like, I have feelings for you, and I don't know what to do about it. Because it got to a point where I've spoken about this before how when my PTSD was really bad the last 2 years, I was speaking to my therapist every day. Like, we would have weekly appointments, but I would call him on the phone, we would text. Because I was also like, when he logged off at night, I was like, a lot of days I was talking to the 988 hotline. Like, I had no control over my life and my emotions, and I was stuck in the dark. And I sat with like weapons against myself, just like thinking. And I never, obviously I'm still here. I never took action, but like I would just sit in this darkness and there would be nowhere for me to go for hours and hours on end when I was just in my apartment and paranoid and agoraphobic. And so when I was in that dark place and I was talking to my therapist on the phone, it was like he was like literally like reaching out a hand into the darkness and helping me and repairing me and like patching me up. And of course, I grew attached to him And it wasn't love. It was just like he was showing me a side of myself that I had never experienced. He had showed me a side of humanity that I have never experienced, an acceptance and forgiveness for me that I had never experienced. And I'd never been treated with so much kindness and acceptance. Of course, I grew attached to him. Of course, I fell in love with him. I'm still seeing him now. I'm still seeing him now. And it's interesting because, like, we do still text and we do still call sometimes outside of our appointments, but, like, I feel more in control and I feel like I don't need to. And I feel like I only reach out when it's really needed and I'm in a really dark place. Otherwise, I stand on my own and I find the things that I can do for myself when this happens. And it's just so funny that I fell in love with him. Because of course I did. He's like older, he's married. He's not that much older than me, but like, it was just like, I wanted to say something else and now I forget. Oh, because I grew so attached to him that it actually kept me in a dark place because anytime I felt attached to him and I would cling on to him and I would reach out, uh, I would get so angry at myself and I would blame myself and it would cause me so much self-hatred and self-blame that whenever I reached out to him, it was like I was also hating myself because I was like, oh my God, I'm feeding into this attachment that I was very aware of, but I just couldn't do anything about it. And when I actually began to give into the attachment and say, I feel like I need him right now, and that's okay. I feel like I need him because that's what I need right now, and I don't have any other resources available to me at this time. So if I cling on to that attachment, that's okay. I think like what I learned was that when you grow attached to something, you just have to treat yourself with so much love and forgiveness when you're attached. You don't have to just like rip it away from you because that's going to put you backwards. What I learned was that I was able to actually heal my relationship with my therapist. So, sure, the attachment still comes up, it's still somewhat there. I still get fearful of it at times, but it's so much better because I like stuck to it and I didn't run from the relationship because I was attached. I didn't force myself to like rip it away from myself. I just stuck with it and I stayed in the attachment till I could get to a place where I felt better within myself to act towards that relationship in a healthier way. And this is like therapists are prepared for that. Therapists are prepared for the relationship to be messy. They're prepared for your messy fucking human emotions and that's how you like become more comfortable in the mess. That's how you become more comfortable in the dark. So you can navigate it. So you gain the tools to be able to navigate it yourself to find your way out. And yeah, and I was treated with like so much love and respect through this entire journey. And I'm really grateful for it. So yeah, I don't know why I just wanted to tell that story today. Maybe someone needs to hear it. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I love you.